This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3 on the map, Cabana Republic. On the left side, as the Yellow Soviets, this is Dimon. And on the right side, as the Red Allies, this is LiCtor. This is the new version of this game, and by that I mean the last Red Alert 3 game, not the last one, but from this perspective, the last one to be uploaded, but the last one that I casted was Dimon vs. LiCtor, another AVS on Snowplow, and then like a couple days after either I recorded that or uploaded it, I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was after I recorded it, before I uploaded it, Dimon and LiCtor played another AVS, and this time on Cabana Republic, and this one blew up a little bit. A lot of people were talking. It's up for a Hall of Fame vote, and I did have a little slate of videos that I wanted to release before this one, but looks like LiCtor is winning the early scout battle, and so I'm finally getting around to this one. But this is the one that people have been talking about recently. The other one was a little bit older. These conscripts slowly getting eliminated. Good roar there from that bear, and the dogs are pretty good at barking, so they're going to be able to lock down a couple more of these bears. Does he get the engineer? That's really the high-value target there. Going to be able to eliminate the bear, and then these final dogs, I was going to say, should be able to eliminate the bears just because of numbers, but, and they do. But that bear, he locked down 3 of those dogs. Oh, and another engineer. So that's 1,000 credits just in engineers that have been eliminated. And these bears are now just getting, well, fed into the meat grinder, kind of, but that dog didn't end up going down. This bear is going to be able to eliminate a couple of these dogs. And finally, Dimon is pushing LiCtor back off of his barracks. And I thought that was a war factor going down initially when it was first constructed. He went super reactor first, and then he's going to be going for his 3rd refinery over on the LiCtor side of the map. He's going to be going for his 3rd as well. I was going to say, wait a second, where's the MCB? It looks like he's going to be going for his 3rd and 4th. Now, on Cabana Republic, I'm trying to remember because this is a map that was not played very often, but you can end up in these situations where this land and sea in between the 2 bases here becomes very contested, and you can kind of end up in a bit of a stalemate-y situation somewhere around the middle of the island. So both players will have either 3 or 4 refineries, and it can be a little bit stalemate-y in that way. By the way, all those engineers, they were indeed supposed to be for the oil derricks. Maybe he wanted to go for the hospital as well, but most likely just the oil derricks there. That engineer, number 3, narrowly escaping these dogs, and it looks like that bear is going to be able to clean up at least most of these dogs, or peacekeepers, not dogs. But the peacekeepers unable to kill the engineer there, but 1,500 credits to get that one oil derrick. And of course you get the $500 cash back for the capture, but that doesn't do you very much good when you had to build 3 engineers to get there. Going right into the airfield, so Dimon skipping Naval Yard, skipping War Factory, going Super Reactor into his 3rd refinery, into his airfield. Not something I have remember seeing very often, to be fair. It's been a while since I saw a lot of, Soviet play. But 4 refineries up and running for LiCtor, so this seems a little bit unconventional from Dimon, although maybe this is the meta, and I just did not realize it. Trading buildings in the middle of the map, both players decided to keep around their racks, rebuilding onto the front lines for LiCtor. And dropping 2 multi-gunner turrets to try and keep this refinery safe. And a little bit of an investment there, but most likely is going to be worth it. You don't want to have to be worrying about that northern expansion. And Dimon, he may actually be going for refineries 4 and 5 up here together, which sometimes you'll see players try and take that, and then it just becomes a very contested spot as, cryocopters and vindicators make short work of this water expansion. But sometimes a player is able to sneakily get the water expansion up and running, and then they've got that great economic edge, 5 refineries versus 4, and even just in the war of attrition, 2 flak troopers. In the war of attrition, they're able to win out in the long term. So 2 flak troopers, definitely not a big deal, but it's just enough to be annoying. And like, if you don't deal with them, so for example, if he hadn't caught the twin blade with those with the Apollo, then those two flak troopers could have definitely wreaked some havoc on his harvesters. He's going to get what value he can out of the flak troopers and out of the twin blades, doing a little bit of damage, but ultimately this attack, this harassment, will be thwarted. Both of them going to be spotting each other. It looks like it was a prospector out for LiCtor, and it's going to be a Tesla coil in response for Dimon. So Dimon is going to win the expansion, but the good thing for LiCtor, if you're an allied player, going to be cheering for LiCtor, the good thing for him is, of course, he knows that it's there, because we have seen, as I mentioned earlier, some games on this map where, oh my gosh, he's actually dropping a naval yard. So actually, he's gonna be contesting this pretty seriously. Like, this is not just sell off the command hub and get what you can. He's really going to be going for this cryoblast or cryoshot, going to be coming down, as well as satellites trying to eliminate the build radius here. And the hydrofoil comes out, but the command hub survives, so actually LiCtor will be able to hold on to his foothold here for a little bit longer. There's going to be the Dolphin going to be able to kill probably the ore collector, and then actually maybe not get anything because of this Akula sub. Dimon going to be moving his con yard forward. Is there a second hydrofoil on the way? Something is building, but the command hub is now done. No, it's a Riptide. Going to be trying to chase out that Akula sub. At least they might get the Tesla coil. But again, now that there are two Akula subs on the field, another hydrofoil would be really nice just to make sure that the Akula subs can't tear these Riptides apart. In the middle of the map, infantry starting to build up. Oil derricks still captured by their respective side. And just in time, LiCtor, he's like, why would I need two hydrofoils when I can kill everything at exactly the right moment to be able to use my one hydrofoil to lock down both Akula subs, basically, because the other one is dead. Clears out the multi-gunner turret, and there is going to be the Riptides trying to tear that one Akula apart, and again, switching between the Akula subs with his weapon jammer, trying to prevent them from just tearing these Riptides apart, because the Riptides aren't going to stand up to the Akulas in a straight-up fight, but they can overwhelm with the help of the weapons jammer. Down on the south side, Tesla troopers now on the field in combination with conscripts, and this isn't a big force, but this is a dangerous force. If you let this thing go uncontested, you can do some serious damage in the north. The Akula sub still staying strong, but trying to get shut down as slowly it looks like most of the infantry have been cleaned up there. A couple in the buildings. There's going to be one Riptide dying. A second one does go down. A third Riptide pops out, but now this is three Akula subs. There's the sell-off. There's the refinery going down for Dimon. He has bought this expansion with the blood and with the lives of his Akula subs. Conscripts in that building. It looks like the Tesla troopers were all taken out, which is not great, because that's quite the investment. He had several Tesla troopers there on the front line. Flak cannon going to be going down. I imagine a Tesla coil will also be going down to try and keep this expansion safe. And it's back down to those four refineries for LiCtor. He is going to want to be taking a fifth at some point, otherwise he's going to be falling behind, although this expansion is going to take a while before it actually pays for itself, considering all the investment that Dimon put into securing and keeping it. So he's gonna have to keep that for a little while before it really starts paying dividends. But at this point, ooh, he's getting a free Apollo for it, and Cryocopter Vindicator combo is not super great when there's a flak cannon present. One Harvester is definitely going to be going down. No Bullfrogs going to be popping out at the current moment. MiGs are on the way, so that means you may get the Cryocopter, or you may get the Harvester, but you may end up losing pretty much everything else. And, oh, that is a change that I did not realize had happened in, this is 1.12.6, I think? So this is the community patch version of it. Barracks going to be going down, and I guess they changed the MiG's attack animation at some point to look like kind of like the twin blade missiles. Satellite's going to be coming down, forcing the sell-off of that barracks. So that's a little visual change that I did not realize had been made in the community patch. Engineer going to be popping out, and this dog, it would be really hilarious if that dog was able to come over here and kill that engineer, but I assume Dimon is actually just going to be going for the Riptides. Oh, he misses the snipe! LiCtor misses the snipe. Dimon misses the capture, so LiCtor is going to get a few extra seconds there. The Apollo was able to shoot down whatever that was. Riptide's going for the harass, and eventually Dimon is going to capture that oil derrick. Oh my gosh, LiCtor, the dog or the Riptides, two different options to be able to stop that from happening, and he was unable to do either. Stingray going to be popping on out, and these Akula subs finally going to be put to use. They could actually just use their ability. Yep, nope, there's the sell-off. I was going to say, they could clear up that expansion pretty quick by using their torpedo ability. Stingray cleans up that Riptide without too much trouble. 2 Riptides down, the harassment has been defeated, and overall, just a little bit of lost mining time. It looks like this Harvester is, whoa, extremely low on HP, so this one Vindicator is going to be going in. He gets the kill, and he actually, oh my gosh, he manages to escape. That Vindicator is a hero Vindicator, and then he's like, oh, hey, there's that oil derrick that we did nothing to stop the capture of. Athena Cannon's out on the front line, going to be clearing out these buildings, and I always used to, in Red Alert 2, I used to love sticking just a ton of infantry. You get, as the Americans, you get the GIs, and you put like 20 of them into some of those big buildings. I love doing that. And then you could also repair the civilian structures with engineers, which is not something that you could do in the later games, or even, I don't know if Red Alert 2 might have been the only game where you could do that. But yeah, you could totally repair stuff, and I love that because I love just like the slow crawl of pushing forward with 1,000,000 GIs in buildings on those maps that had a lot of buildings. And look, I'm not saying it was a good tactic to actually be able to win games in multiplayer. I'm saying I had a lot of fun with it when I was like 10 years old. Aegis Shield going to be going down, trying to stop these Twin Blades from being too effective, and that is 5 MiGs out on the field, which means these Apollos need to get on out of there. They're going to trade their lives for a couple of Twin Blades. The Aegis Shield's going to be stopping these Twin Blades from being particularly effective, but now that there are all of the Apollos dead, the MiGs are the only thing standing, and these Athena Cannons are in trouble. Nothing on the ground, no Javelin Troopers, no IFVs actually here to be able to provide defense. MiGs are going to be showing up, but they're just going to be showing up to die if they stick around for too much longer. Another Aegis Shield does pop, going to be protecting these infantry from the Twin Blades for a little bit longer, and there's movement on the north side of the map. No, it's just a Vindicator. I thought maybe LiCtor was finally going to be doing something about these expansions in the north because, again, the longer this game goes on, the more Dimon is going to have an economic advantage. 5 refineries to 3 of his opponent. 5 MiGs. Oh, it looks like LiCtor did actually end up capturing that oil derrick back. I don't know how long he's had it or if he was actually able to get any value out of it. And this is not a good game to be a Tesla trooper, because in this game, like we have seen other games where the combination of their lockdown ability and just the sheer damage that they output is really impressive. Aegis Shield is going to be holding the line for a little bit, but this is so many bears going to be clawing their way through all of those Peacekeepers and Javelin Troopers, which means eventually this attack has to be locked down, right? I mean, just purely on the infantry side, these Athena Cannons are going to have no support in a couple of seconds. Everything is gone. The bears do survive. Satellites raining down, but of course the bears themselves can't kill the Athena Cannons. Oh, buddy. Dimon losing, I guess, the MiGs in the sky. I thought he was gonna have a little bit more left in the air after that, but he had nothing, so those Apollos able to chase down the Twin Blades and shoot them to pieces. I was a little bit surprised that those Apollos won that fight outright like that, but the MiGs, not enough to keep up with the Apollos, and now this Athena Cannon, this one lone Athena Cannon, which was able to eliminate the bears, slowly was picking away at that ore refinery. Now it gets locked down by the Terror Drone and eliminated by those flak troopers, so that attack has finally been cleaned up. It was actually more effective than I initially thought. Those Twin Blades going down represents thousands and thousands of dollars destroyed for Dimon. We're all the way up, which means, are we going to be seeing any sentry bombers in on the Snowplow game? We got to see some sentry bombers coming out for LiCtor, but he's probably just going to be going for more Apollos, going only for that anti-air, and then maybe, you know, like 1 Vindicator and some cryocopters if you want to do that kind of a harass, but not a good idea to fly over this flak turret. Going to be taking a little bit of damage. The second flak turret might get a kill here. Barely doesn't get a kill on any of those units. Cryocopter going to be going to be freezing that barracks even though the oil derrick is already captured. Looks like this terror drone and the hammer tanks are going to be able to claim at least one of these riptides. The second riptide does manage to escape. One Apollo went down, it looks like, over that expansion. And back home, the MCV is even under a little bit of threat here, trying to drop a flak cannon to get rid of this cryocopter, but there's too much infantry here, and Dimon has left his MCV here for a long time, which, you know, technically it's on his enemy's side of the map. Eventually, the oil derricks do get cleaned up, at least the one on the left side, and this MCV is probably pretty close to getting frozen. Oh my gosh, is he going to get the snipe on this MCV? A second cryocopter almost makes this a guarantee. Even if he's out on the water, the laser lock is going to allow LiCtor to get that bit of damage that he needs right into the water, and frozen and dead. A great move there by LiCtor. And kind of funny, Dimon also bothered to grab the observation post, so he's going to have that nice vision for a little bit, but you know, not for long. Multi-gunner turret on the front lines does go down, and it doesn't look like the MCV is on the rebuild, although to be honest, you do lose the support power, so that's important, but to be honest, he's doing all right in terms of his setup. The Athena cannon just goes down completely there, gets shut down and destroyed by those hammer tanks. Not a whole lot here for Dimon, so this attack can be shut down and be thwarted. His control is really just going to be running away from this big infantry army, because the combination of the infantry and the cryocopters is quite deadly. The MCV forced to back up, and Dimon pushed away into this corner. Slowly but surely, LiCtor is going to be able to move forward on this army, but his harassment in the north is shut completely down. No, oh, the shrinks are a little bit late there, which means some of this infantry does get wiped out. Bullfrog's going to be coming back in. They still don't get a kill on one of those cryocopters, nearly killing him, but not quite. LiCtor has pushed this attack back, but Dimon, has he bought himself enough time? It looks like no, he's still not building an MCV. Let's take a quick little survey of everything he's got. I don't think he has a crusher crane either. He built it from the naval yard out on the water. His MCV is back up and running, so he does have construction abilities. Once more, leeching his hammer tanks to get those free repairs from that structure. And is it going to be just into a tier 3 tech up going for either? Yeah, going for either Dreadnoughts or V4s, although he could go for Kirovs. We did see in that Snowplow game, Kirovs and V4s. I'm always a big fan of the Dreadnoughts, even though hardly they ever get built, but I love to see them anyways. Satellite's going to be raining down and forcing the sell-off of that barracks, and it looks like the Athena cannon goes down as well as some little bit of infantry. I think one Javelin Trooper or something ended up dying there as well. And Dimon, he's still doing all right. He's still rocking those 5 refineries, and ever since this refinery got taken down, LiCtor has just been on the 3 pretty much all game, so I'm surprised it took Dimon this long to tech up, but he's been doing all right so far. He is going to have to deal with these cryocopters sooner or later. The combination of efficiency that the cryocopters allow is just too much for a straight-up engagement. This is a lot of hammer tanks. And the name of the game here is probably going to be Divide and Conquer. I imagine a Cryogeddon is going to be coming out pretty soon here. Maybe Cryoblast at this point, but probably Cryogeddon soon, which, as we have seen in previous games, sometimes when you've got an inferior army, or at least an army that's inferior in numbers, although it's superior in technology, like the Allies have right now, that Cryogeddon to split the army in half and force part of it to run forward into a meat grinder can be your only real path to victory. Here's the big push in from LiCtor. He's going to be able to cut through the front half of this army, but the hammer tanks are pretty much all on the back end, which means in combination with the V4s, are they going to be able to stand strong? A lot of the anti-air has been defeated, which means these cryocopters have an opportunity to be effective. Pushing forward, LiCtor is looking to make his victory march, and is he going to be able to cut through? These cryocopters sneaking forward, going for the shrinks on some of these hammer tanks, trying to cut their effectiveness, and that Bullfrog, he is not doing his job. He just needs to get a couple more shots on one of these cryocopters, unable to do anything effective. Aegis Shield going to be coming down, blocking those V4 missiles from doing anything. Flak Cannon on the front line. That is a lot of Leech Beams going to be able to cut down this Athena Cannon. And the follow-up, is it going to be enough? Because right now, LiCtor is stalling out. He's just taking more and more damage, even losing another Athena cannon to those V4s. The attack shut down completely, everything pushed back, and the Cryoblast was a great, or the Cryogeddon was a great start, but there wasn't enough of a follow-up. Everything that got pushed onto the front lines was like bears and bullfrogs, which, as great as bears and bullfrogs can be, when the rest of the army, the hammer tanks and the V4s, are still alive, that Cryogeddon didn't do the work that we've seen it do in other games. Still no safe expansion. Again, a war of attrition in this case favors the Soviets. V4s on the launch, forcing the pushback. And a little bit of a reverse situation. Dual Desolator airstrike going to be coming in. A couple of errant Javelin troopers going to be firing off. No point going for the freeze when there's nothing here that can get the kill on them. LiCtor does need to just buy time. That is a little bit the name of the game here. He doesn't necessarily need to fight this army right this very second. He wants to build back up a little bit. I mean, again, efficiency is what he needs to be. Efficient is what he needs to be. Efficiency is the name of the game. A lot of hammer tanks. Bear's going to be coming in, getting a kill on a Javelin trooper, and those shots from the V4 is going to be cutting down some of the infantry, pushing forward. Again, if he can get on top of this army, he can do some damage. I don't know that he could win a straight-up fight. I guess it depends on how good the crushes are. There's a good freeze. The bullfrogs are getting eliminated. And again, oh my gosh, is that basically the last two bullfrogs for Dimon? Because that could spell disaster here. The combination of cryocopters, they're pulling back to the flak cannon. Natasha is also on the field. This is a lot of V4 rockets, but they might actually just completely whiff. No, they do hit. The kill is good. They do get the Mirage tank, and another Cryogeddon going to be firing off. This one is going to be more effective. He's cut the hammer tanks into the front line. They get chewed up by the Athena cannons, and one of them does get frozen anyway. The sweep of the Peacekeepers could be enough to shut down this flak cannon. No, it doesn't matter because the Athena cannons have got it on lock, or at least they will in just a moment. Natasha is not going to be very effective. Frozen in ice. She's not asking for cryogenics, but she's getting it anyway, and the ground army has been defeated. The cryocopters stand strong, but there's nothing left to do the kills. The bullfrogs, the flak cannon, and the flak troopers enough to push this attack back, and those V4s, my gosh, things were looking okay for LiCtor, but the V4s here killing that Mirage tank right in the middle there where they pretty much all fired on him. Cleared up enough of the ground forces, and then we saw the bears coming in for the kill of those infantry as well. I don't know that Dimon, okay, so he's going for the civ structure. But I was gonna say, I don't know that he can really push forward and kill LiCtor at this point. He might be able to get some kind of damage done, but I don't think he can do that. You know, I'm not very good at this game, but one dreadnought out on the water with a couple of bullfrogs to keep it safe while something's going on at the front lines. You know, I'm just saying, could be nice. Could be nice. One dreadnought out on the water. One dreadnought. Just one. That's all I'm asking for. We've seen some other games in Red Alert 3 be extremely harass-heavy, and can he actually kill this Mirage tank, though? Be extremely harass-heavy. This one, definitely not. Much more big, slow swings from each of these players. Terror Drone's going to be able to lock that hammer tank in place, and there it goes. The V4 rocket's able to clear it up, and this is a little bit of a push forward here. This is kind of light on the infantry, so it wouldn't take a whole lot for Dimon to be able to eliminate that entire infantry army. And of course, if he's not careful, if LiCtor isn't careful, he's going to walk back through all of those toxins from the Desolators. And LiCtor, it actually looks like recapturing that oil derrick has paid off for him. Man, heroic Athena cannons are just unbelievable. Kills that refinery, bringing it down to a 4 refinery versus 3 refinery game. And LiCtor, for the economic disadvantage that he has been at for pretty much this entire game, you got to hand it to him. He's been doing a really good job of staying on top of the attacks. He's been definitely an equal contender. Trading blows back and forth. A big chunk of that does come down to Cryoblast, Cryogeddon, Cryocopters, all the cryos. There's another one. 1, 2, 3 V4s do get caught by it, which means this attack is going to be pushing forward. 4 more V4s are here to try and keep things at bay, but the infantry just need to get a little bit of damage onto those V4s to get the value to make it worth it. There's the precision bomber going to be coming in, trying to split up this army once again, and he's going to be moving forward. LiCtor killing a lot of the high-value units. Being able to eliminate all of those V4s is definitely nice, and killing off the bullfrogs will allow him to be more effective. But again, we've seen this march before. Once he starts getting around here, reinforcements are much faster. Looks like Satellite's going to be coming in. Reinforcements are much faster for Dimon, and LiCtor may find it hard to actually seal the deal. There's the Tesla Troopers going to be moving on forward. They do get shot down a little bit there by the Peacekeepers, and the Bears trying to clean up all of the infantry from LiCtor. The heroic Athena cannon gets killed, passes its veterancy off to this Tesla Trooper. And again, that march forward, there's just not enough there from LiCtor. Dimon's defense is too strong. Terror drone, going to be going for the kill there. Backing up is Dimon. Not even bothering to get this refinery back up and running. Huh. So a little bit of transition in effect, it appears, for Dimon. Selling off your war factory is not selling off his war factory. He's got a war factory up there, still pumping stuff out. Oh. There's that. Magnetic singularity? I don't even remember what that's called. It's just like a thing. Desolator airstrike going to be coming in. Going to be meaning that anything that pops out of that war factory for LiCtor takes a bunch of damage right out of the gate. Most likely he paused everything just to be able to keep it alive, not have it take any damage. Sells off the naval yard as well, so Dimon seems like he is strapped for cash, rebuilding his ore refinery, and at this point, oh yeah, depleted. So actually this game, 750, 2000. So this game has been going on for long enough that pretty much everything on the map is taken, and by that I mean, you know, obviously this is still good, and this is still good, but everything that's been harvested is at the point where it pretty much is out of money, which means stuff like this oil derrick, anything that gives constant and consistent income is just going to become more and more important. There's the push forward. Cryo shot going to be coming down, and is going to be locking down a couple of these V4s, stopping them from firing their rockets. Tesla Troopers on the front line are going to be able to deal with some of these. Actually, they're going to be able to, well, they were dealing with all of the Javelin Troopers before the Cryocopters got in on the mix. There's the push forward from LiCtor, and he's eliminated pretty much most of the stuff that shoots the ground for Dimon. But Dimon, again, he can pull back to his reinforcements, to his base, and he's still cranking stuff out of that war factory. Dropped a second flak cannon there, pulled a harvester into the middle. Probably an accidental build. Yeah, because that harvester is full on HP. At some point, that harvester ended up getting taken out, it looks like. And this one Riptide will eventually go down. It looks like the V4, although the V4 itself may end up getting eliminated there. Nope. A nice, easy trade there for Dimon. Avoids the bomber, gets the kill on the Riptide. Not a big victory, but a little victory. Satellites most... Oh, no, actually. Magnetic? Singularity? Yeah, whatever that's called. Going to be locking down these production facilities, forcing the sell-off of that war factory. And one more Cryocopter does pop on out, turning into a scrappy and low econ kind of a game. 1v4 versus 1 Athena cannon. And that airfield It's still alive. It's still here. Nope, never mind. Satellites are about to come down upon it. The MCV even being forced to move on out of the way. Desolator airstrike going to be coming down, it looks like, on that boot camp on the barracks, which means anything made out of there will be instantly killed. Athena Cannon going to be getting shut down. Aegis Shield isn't really going to help you, although the Chrono Shift, or whatever that is called, which, well, my gosh, I've never seen that, where the missile is stuck in mid-air, and the Athena Cannon does not pop the Aegis Shield. The V4 gets the kill, and it looks like the Athena Cannon maybe got a Bullfrog or something. 2 V4s on the front line for Dimon. The war of artillery is being won slowly but surely by Dimon. One Twin Blade gets immediately shut down, gets immediately shot up, and although that is something to be said for LiCtor, if he's able to just pump out a ton of infantry, if they can close ranks on the V4s will be absolutely shredded. Even if it was just Peacekeepers, they would be able to eliminate those V4s pretty darn quickly. And here's the push-in from Dimon. V4s, Bears, a Terror Drone, and a couple of Bullfrogs just to keep him safe from those air units. Although if he steps too much further forward, he may end up losing those Bullfrogs for free. There's the Cryogeddon once again going to be coming down. I wonder if there's a counter out there for how many times a Cryogeddon gets used. And these infantry are about to be eviscerated as the Magnetic Singularity claims just one of them, actually. Doesn't get the second one. Oh, it does there. As it goes down, pulls in the V4 when it's frozen, and ends up getting it shot by that Peacekeeper. Bullfrog's going to be forced to pull off, and actually this Bullfrog may end up going down. That's a heroic Riptide, which not something you see super often. Goes down there. 2 Terror Drones on the front line. But that is both V4s getting eliminated in that previous engagement, which means we're kind of back down to like tier 1 kind of units. Bullfrogs, Bears, Terror Drones, and Hammer Tanks. These Peacekeepers are going to get eliminated. Chrono Shift going to be locking those Bullfrogs in place, and I'm guessing he's going to be trying to go for a surround. There's the shrink of those Hammer Tanks, stopping them from actually crushing any of these infantry. 1 Bullfrog down, a second one does get killed, and a third one may go down as well. Pushing forward, and it looks like, nope, the Hammer Tanks do manage to escape. There's the sell-off of the Battle Lab. Going to be able to bring, actually just completely selling off his technology, going back to basically tier 1, and that's it. Dimon, so strapped for cash. All of his 5 ore mines are depleted, so he's got the economy of like 1 or maybe 2 ore mines. I don't remember what the math works out on that as, but at this point, that solid 15 credits every couple of seconds. It adds up over the course of the game. There is 4 Javelin Troopers, and I think someone just fired off a support power of some kind. 1 Javelin Trooper does go down. There's going to be the laser lock. Desolator airstrike. Going to be actually causing some problems a little bit here because the everything is on the other side of it. Magnetic Singularity locking down this Riptide and eliminating that Javelin Trooper. The attack, not nearly as successful as he was hoping. LiCtor unable to kill this refinery, which is really what he wanted. And then, actually, that ore collector taking a little bit of damage before getting back to work. Keeping that 1 Akula sub there has been a very important move. Dimon hasn't even tried to take this, which, granted, it would be very difficult to hold against the sheer number of Athena cannons and cryocopters that have been built in this game, but that's a lot of cash. That's enough cash to fuel a big army. And, oh no. They're doing a little bit of a dance there. 2 harvesters on 1 refinery. Bullfrogs going to be doing a little bit of damage. This is another situation where you wonder, like, if he had built a crusher crane somewhere near the front line, maybe not directly on the front line where the Athena cannons can pick it off easily, but somewhere near the front line, and then allowed Dimon to get free repairs, be a little bit more efficient with his units, would this game have looked a little bit different? And that Akula sub is low enough on HP that you'd kind of wonder, you know, like 1 or 2 Riptides from out of here, could they just swing over there, kill that guy, and then that would open up this ore mine, which has 18,000 credits left in it. Would that kind of open things up? Did he? I didn't realize that, but he crushed his... No, he didn't crush his MCV. It was right there. Crusher Cranes sometimes used by players to get a little bit of more value out of their MCV late in the game. Gives you the ability to still build stuff, but satellite going to be coming down. Hits nothing, because everything got sold off. Magnetic Singularity. Maybe it'll claim this Peacekeeper? No, it moves out of the way. And it expires. As quickly as it arrived, it left. And this is actually a pretty big army rebuild here. 4 bullfrogs on the front line, but really the trouble is those now 7 hammer tanks from Dimon. And that, of course, is one of the advantages of the way the Allies tech up, is like, even though you sold off the war factory, even though you don't have your tech buildings anymore, you still have those Athena cannons, which will definitely give LiCtor a distinct advantage, but Dimon has been able to hold the line right here for so long. Desolator is going to be coming in. Their own version of Cryogeddon going to be coming down for the Soviets, and there's the Cryogeddon that's really... This might actually just seal the game right here, because this is like 88% of the army is right here. It's all locked down, using the Chrono Shift into the Cryogeddon as an amazing combo to eliminate so much of this army, thousands of dollars worth of units, and he can't push forward with just Peacekeepers into the Sentry Gun, but the Athena Cannons are slowly going to be working away at the economy of Dimon. And is this going to be the slow final push forward from LiCtor? This could be 3 hammer tanks. He's going to be, if he can hold the line for another minute or 2, just keep these Athena cannons. Where are the Peacekeepers? They should be on top of these hammer tanks right here, right now. That was a missed opportunity there for LiCtor. You got to keep them far away, because the crushes will eliminate like 50% of your army, but he could have killed those hammer tanks. There's a slow push forward. Is that Magnetic Singularity? Because if so, yeah, those... One only gets 1 Peacekeeper. It looks like it's so much more deadly than that. There's the hammer tanks going to be pushing forward. They do actually end up getting locked down a little bit there. They do come out of the freeze. They get 1 Athena cannon, and they're rushing forward, going to be able to surround the other Athena cannons. And actually, the Bullfrog's body blocking here, which means the Athena cannons are taking a little bit more damage than they otherwise would. Are the crushes going to be good enough? The Cryocopter's getting shut down. A 3rd hammer tank does join the fray, and 1 hammer tank with an insane number of crushes. The Athena cannons with nothing left, no one to protect them, getting shot up, and that is 1 heroic hammer tank and a 2nd one going vet. A Mirage tank, too little, too late, as that entire attack gets absolutely eviscerated by like 2 hammer tanks. The tier 3 of LiCtor, unable to claim him the victory. Even the Mirage tank going down, and in a couple of seconds, Dimon turns it around. The freeze ray, no, the shrink ray, allowing the hammer tanks to outmaneuver the Peacekeepers. They were like, we can't crush you and we can't fight that many Peacekeepers, so we're just going to run around you. The Bullfrogs body blocking those Athena cannons and turning that into a nightmare scenario for LiCtor. I cannot believe how he turned that around, how Dimon managed to get that good of an engagement when it shouldn't have been that good of an engagement. Sure, he should have been able to do okay in that engagement, but not that well. Conscripts now going to be parachuting into the main base of LiCtor, the main base in terms of economy that has been supporting LiCtor throughout the entirety of this game. Virtually no harassment taken on over the course of this game. Desolator airstrike going to be chipping away at that prospector. Eventually, it looks like it may kill it. Nope, there's going to be the time shift there as locking down the hammer tanks and the conscripts. There's the freeze. Does LiCtor actually have anything? He gets the conscripts. Is he gonna sell? No, he's not. He hasn't sold anything off. There it is. He sells off the power plant, gets a heroic peacekeeper out of the deal, and whoops. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to turn that off, not open the window up. That was a great move there by LiCtor, selling off one power plant to get the peacekeeper that he needed to make use of that cryo-get-in, which, you know, when you're normally cryo-get-inning like 2 hammer tanks, that's not something that you do very often, just those 2 hammer tanks. But the combination of killing the conscripts plus the hammer tanks has allowed LiCtor to stay in this. And quick refinery catch-up. It is going to be still 4 refineries in total. MCV going to be taking a little bit of damage there versus the 3 working refineries now of LiCtor. Satellites crashing on down. This refinery still going strong, although it did used to have 2 multi-gunner turrets there. It's just got the 1 now. Whew, boy. LiCtor. It's expensive, but yeah, cryocopters. If he could even one cryocopter could allow his infantry to actually kill this army, but in a straight up fight, you can't contend with the hammer tank under normal circumstances. You can maybe laser lock it if you split your javelins really well, but it's still just going to be driving around trying to kill absolutely everything. Magnetic singularity, it looks like, going to be coming in once again. He's trying so hard, Dimon is, to kill those infantry, because that is the only thing that LiCtor has going for him. Oh, terror drones. A terror drone and a sickle. You know what's better than walls? The ability to jump. So there is a potential that even if that harvester was walled in, that it, there's the freeze, that it wouldn't be safe from the sickle. Eventually the sickle would be able to kill it. And the hammer tank does go down, so Dimon, not paying attention in the middle of the map, loses the hammer tank. The terror drone frozen, and the sickle, I mean, this one peacekeeper. The sickle can't really contend with the multi-gunner turret by itself. I'm guessing he was hoping that there were walls, which would allow that sickle to be a little bit more effective. Desolator airstrike, going to be claiming, it looks like, there's another airfield. Looks like it's going to be claiming not a whole lot. He did get 1 Javelin Trooper for sure. Is this Javelin Trooper? Okay, so he's not going for the laser lock. The Peacekeeper did get the kill on that terror drone, and the sickle is heading back in. So many toxins. So dangerous. All right, airfield is back up. Maybe a second cryocopter? Potentially coming out for... Oh, that's the old satellite. Coming out for LiCtor. My gosh, this is like the new thing. I don't remember ever seeing anyone do this, but this is like a killer combo. A killer combo of that chrono shift. I legitimately am not 100% sure that it's called chrono shift, but that time lock ability, which I feel like I've seen almost no one use in Red Alert 3 until this game. I feel like certainly this game is probably 50% of the total uses of that ability in a high-level match. This is like 50% of them, and by number right here. But like, I've never seen anyone use it this much. I've never seen anyone use it in that particular way of using it to lock those units in place, and then when it's like halfway expired or 3/4 expired, you fire off the cryo blast or the cryo get-in to get the actual lockdown. I think that's going to be the Magnets once again gets 1 Peacekeeper, and that's pretty much it. 2 airfields, so LiCtor is he's going hard with the aircraft. He's gonna catch the hammer tank, and it's like, what are you gonna do? You can try and contend, but it's hard to do when you've got so little resources, so few units. Finally getting what is now a 6th refinery up and running. Shooting down a twin blade or something there in the sky. One conscript is going to get killed. There's the kill right there. 2 bullfrogs, 3 bullfrogs going to be pushing forward, but there's their javelin troopers and peacekeepers, which in combination with the shrink ray, they're going to be able to deal with those, well, not the hammer tank, but deal with the bullfrogs in an all-right manner. It's, I think Dimon has about enough time. Like, he's had control of this refinery for long enough. He's stopped LiCtor from being able to reestablish himself at that ore mine. And now with all 6 refineries up, which, you know, granted 5 of them are depleted, but with 6 refineries up and running, he's bought enough time. I think Dimon can just, like, slowly build up his army. Maybe even get some MiGs. MiGs would be crazy good, although, yeah, he still has the super reactor, he still has the airfield. MiGs would be crazy good in this situation, and even a black cannon on the front lines is also a good idea. Just because the Apollos, I mean, there are no Apollos, and the MiGs care not about the cryocopters. They'll just cut through them, no problem. 2 airfields. Oh my gosh! I can't believe he did it. We're going to watch this barracks go down. Desolator airstrike going to be coming in and pushing forward. The hammer tanks do get shrunk down, but all of the cryocopters do end up going down. That Desolator airstrike pushing all of the infantry and the units for LiCtor into potentially the arms of his destroyers. Fortunately for LiCtor, he got the shrink down of those hammer tanks, allowing his units to escape, at least for now. There isn't anything to back these guys up. Those 2 bombers, they're going to be going for this refinery in the north. It almost doesn't matter. Does LiCtor not know about this refinery? He might not. There's the time freeze. Magnetic singularity going to be popping off in the cryogeddon. Don't walk back into it. 1, 2 down, and a 3rd and a 4th go down between... Oh my gosh, in between those conscripts in the building, and there's the multi-gunner turret. He should be able to get 1, maybe 2 or 3, all of these hammer tanks. There's the 3rd one. Wow, this freeze lasts for longer than I anticipated, so actually he's going to get everything. He gets it all there. 1 multi-gunner turret is not going to be enough to stop the might of the Soviet army. Sentry bombers going out on a 2nd run, and the Leech... Finally, he's out of range there. Oh, no, never mind, because there's now another multi-gunner turret behind him, able to kill that hammer tank, no problem. There's the turn of the sentry bombers. They care not about 1 single flak cannon. And that's the refineries cut down. The economic advantage shrinks a little bit there. Bullfrog's going to be hanging out with these twin blades. I don't think there are any Apollos, so I don't even know if it's really necessary to have the bullfrogs there. They get the kill on both of those harvesters, and that's at least going to be forcing him to rebuild them. Such a scrappy game coming out of Dimon. LiCtor low on power for a little bit there. Throws down another power plant. Those might also become worthy targets for Dimon to try and kill off. It may not even really be worth it, depending on how much longer this game goes on to rebuild both of those harvesters. It might actually be worth it to sell off 1 of the refineries and just rebuild out of 1 of them. My gosh, LiCtor has had that oil derrick for so long, hitting each other's expansions, what would ordinarily be the 3rd refinery for these players. Goes down for Dimon, and these twin blades going to be going for the kill of this prospector. There it goes there. What a scrappy match between these 2. Big, slow swings between Tier 3 artillery. And there's actually going to be the sell-off of both of those refineries, so he's really just down to the 1 refinery, which is depleted, worst of all, and there's not a whole lot here for LiCtor, but he's gotten so much value out of those sentry bombers. 3 Apollos out on the field. They're going to be able to contend with these twin blades. Wait a second. Did he? Oh, yeah, he had that second airfield. I was like, he has 5 aircraft, which, of course, you don't necessarily need all of them in the field or in the airfield at the same exact time. He really should go for this refinery. It'd be a relatively easy kill. It might actually be worth sacrificing one of these sentry bombers to get it. No sell-off, it looks like. Yeah, no sell-off there from Dimon. He has not been able to sell off any of these refineries, which, I mean, really, if you're able to get the sell-off, you might as well. Terror drone nearly killing that harvester, but it doesn't actually get it. The sentry bombers do escape. Twin blades go for the kill on that power plant. They're able to kill it off. They're able to eliminate it. Desolator, airstrike, and the magnetic singularity going to be keeping that prospector in place, and this prospector is almost certainly going to die. There it goes. 250 credits into the bank account of Dimon for getting that kill. Oh, I thought he was going to kill that oil derrick. I was like, no, man, no way, man. You should go for the cap there. Whew, 3 Apollos turn around. They're going to be able to... Oh my gosh, he didn't even get it. The engineer lies dead on the ground with the barracks. And this one flak trooper, he's going to have to stop moving. Otherwise, I don't know that the sentry bomber will actually be able to kill him. Yeah, he misses it. But this peacekeeper, he's going to get the kill. The multi-gunner turret as well, running defense. And that's enough. Satellite's going to be coming down. They're onto these power plants, which means the airfield is still safe. It's going to be sending LiCtor into a low power mode, forced to sell off one of those multi-gunner turrets. The other one up here still stands strong, and there are the MiGs finally out on the map. They're sharking around. They're looking for sentry bombers. They're looking for Apollos. And I believe in a 1-to-1 fight, the Apollos win, but the MiGs have the splash damage. So if the Apollos stack up, then the Apollos win. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure, right? In a 1-to-1 fight, if you just, like, A-moved one Apollo against one MiG, the Apollos win, right? At any rate, these Apollos, oh, they actually don't have any veterancy, but that's his 4 MiGs that they're fighting up against, so it almost doesn't even matter. 2 MiGs do go down against 2 of the Apollos, and the return to base, RTB, is called in. Going to be able to allow them to escape for now, but no, this one heroic sentry bomber may end up going down. These MiGs hunting it down and killing it, sending it to a watery grave, and trying to hunt down this second sentry bomber. Is he actually going to get it? No, the MiG forced to turn around out of ammo, allowing this sentry bomber to make his way back home. Did that flak cannon get the kill there? I didn't even see that. Apollo, one of them is going to be trying to push back these twin blades. One twin blade going to be landing. A little bit of a micro trick there that Dimon is using to allow him to escape. 3 bullfrogs. Magnetic singularity is going to force this peacekeeper to pull back, trading a life for a life, basically. Going to be calling in the precision bomber. Gets 2 of the bullfrogs, but a little bit of cash in the pocket. Oh my gosh. That would have been an amazing moment no matter which way it ended. A little bit of cash into the pocket of Dimon because of that cash back option. Sounds like he's financing everything that he buys. He's like, ooh, if I get this credit card, then I can get the cash back points when I buy these bullfrogs. And then, but only if they get frozen and shot by a peacekeeper. Forcing the sell-off of that power plant. This, that harvester is just hanging out over there, so that's not super great. And one terror drone does get shot there. Oh boy, LiCtor, this is a tough road ahead of him. He's hanging in this game, super scrappy, trying to stick with it. Low econ game for a long time now. He's just cornered in this situation. One heroic Apollo hanging out at this airfield, getting poisoned but repaired. MiGs, 4 of them in the skies. It's going to be hard for one Apollo, heroic or otherwise, to contend with 4 MiGs, especially since one is heroic and one is vet. Crusher Crane going to be coming out onto the field. Goodbye, heroic Apollo. Nope, just kidding. Return to base. Called in. Gives him that speed boost so he can get back home to safety. But of course, the twin blade will be able to shoot him on the ground, if nothing else. If these are all Javelin troopers, then that is actually a pretty good defense. It looks like None of them are Javelin Troopers. The answer is none Javelin Troopers. The Apollo goes down. The multi-gunner turret gets a couple of shots off, but this power plant is vulnerable. There's this sell-off. Dimon forcing LiCtor into that low power mode. And these Twin Blades, now they kind of have free reign. He gets back into his power, but Magnetic Singularity almost locking down that Apollo on the ground. MiGs going to be showing up. This Prospector getting shut down. There's the kill again. Cash back for Dimon. And this one lonely Apollo does get eliminated. And this must be lights out for LiCtor. Dimon, a hard-fought game. Okay, if LiCtor comes back from this, I think we have to call it Dimon's game to lose. There's the fire sale. LiCtor has been defeated, coming back in 2020 to play an awesome game on Cabana Republic. A huge thanks to these guys for putting out such an incredible game. Oh my gosh. Is that? That was almost an hour long. I cannot believe that game felt long, sure, but not an hour long. And check out this income graph from Dimon. Right around like the 10-minute mark, it diverges, and it literally never gets back. That must be the that must be installing that new ore refinery on the healthy ore mine. Ore collector over the course of the game, 65,000 plus in the favor of Dimon. And the efficiency ratio does tell the story as well. What a great match from LiCtor and Dimon. These two guys, they bring it. They absolutely bring some incredible games, and we're about to see Dimon in some 2v2s when I get around to casting those. So thank you all very much for watching. I definitely do appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this incredible, awesome match from these guys, and this is Sybert signing out.